騒動大道克美
エターナル
変身
Hey guys, welcome to the 25th episode of the Soto Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
It's Josh after a long break.
What?
Nice.
I know.
What?
It's
You shouldn't
crazy.
be here. Special guest Josh!
Yeah, especially guest Josh.
And I'm here too.
Oh!
Oh,
What's your
nice.
name, sir?
Oh, I just said it. Never mind.
Not gonna say it. It's Malunas.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
Alright guys, we've actually got some news today, which is, you know,
It's surprising.
yeah, a little surprising, because usually,
Because if
common
you didn't
knowledge
know,
is...
Geo ended tonight.
Yeah, that happened. I
Or, like-
did my best not to look at spoilers, and guess
I-
what? Didn't get spoiled.
I actually
On anything.
literally didn't either, because in the half hour that it was airing, I was cleaning up stuff, so I actually didn't check Twitter, so I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, but yeah, so we got some news.
I'm sure that will change later on tonight.
Oh, of course. So we got some news. We've got a topic of your questions, and then also, I am quickly trying to put together Ride 10.
Ride 10?
Yeah, Ride 10. It is currently in my possession. I'm quickly trying to put it together, so we can use that as our discussion today. So yeah, guys, without further ado, well, one, welcome back, Josh. Two,
Hey!
let's get into some news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the blog. They did a bit of a
You said that so
little recap.
seriously. The blog.
The blog. They did a little recap of just everything they've accomplished this year.
And they did it a little bit differently this time, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, they sort of did it like was reading out of his book, I guess, because they
Oh, is
kept
that-
saying page
is that-
1, page 2.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
seems
That was.
immediate.
Yeah, it's weird to say because he opens up just about every episode reading the book, but it's just with these last few episodes where he's made specific mention of there's only a few pages left in this book, so it's almost like it's just become a thing.
Mm-hmm. So is it canon now that everything he's saying in Soto is exactly what's in the book?
100%.
Okay, good. Yeah,
This
just
is
wanted
the
to confirm.
timeline where Zio is the hero.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Doubt it. Okay.
No bout it, doubt it. What?
So, the Exate and Build blogs, for those who don't know, they basically did this, I think it was two-parters both times, where they basically just showed off every form that they made in DeSoto, which was a very satisfying thing to go through.
Every power, every form we've got.
And this time, they instead just kind of give some bullet points of what have we accomplished with Soto Zio. And the first one is swappable hands became the standard.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, something from Soto Build.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about those?
I mean, they're great as always. You know what? I'm
sorry.
a little torn, just because I really like the swivel. I like that you get the hand options, but the thing is, it's a lot of small parts to lose. And if you're not paying attention, you know, if you're not being careful, it can get lost. I mean, I've shuffled around my location on more than one occasion. I don't know why that rhymed.
I don't know where Corey's going with this.
Well, I could have lost a bunch of hands on the way, but surprisingly I didn't. But it's still like something that could happen, and I'm glad that they eventually implemented the handy holes on the side of the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my case, I've been doing this for a while before Soto. I've basically just adapted this possibly questionable method of every figure that has accessories has its own Ziploc bag.
I mean,
That's
that's a really good method. I'll back that. I recently got like a little box. Found it at my
Tackle
grandparents'
box?
house. Huh?
A tackle box?
No, not a tackle box. It
Those
I
are
think
good
it's
for those kind of things.
they are. But this is a it has like little drawers and stuff. I think it was for
Like-
sewing.
Like a little.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, and they had like little labels too. So I've just been stuffing my accessories in those per set.
Nice.
So it's been good. You know, storage solutions. But that's not all that we should be talking about in the news.
Well,
I was
actually, I will
thinking
say just. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, I think it's nice to just, like, talk about each of these bullet points so you have time to sticker.
Oh, that's fair. Good point.
That's
Keep
a good
going.
idea. All I was gonna say about the hands is that because other riders have the swappable hands, which is my first experience with having the swappable hands on the soda figures, and I think
Gotta
that
get that true grip.
right. Yeah, yeah, you do.
That's I guess you missed that one. I was explaining how apparently their name for the fist is the grip hand, and the another writers have that one without the hole in them, so they call it the true grip hand.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's
you
the whole
were
joke.
saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I think that it adds just a nice extra layer for posability and display and everything. It's an extra detail that just is something I didn't really know that I needed.
Yeah,
You know?
like my first Soto experience is with Zeo, so it's just like, oh yeah, this is solid. And then there are a
Right.
couple figures I have, actually more than a couple now, all the build stuff, and it's just like the difference in how expressive they can be is just to me it's worlds apart.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can actually like make little scenes with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally done that.
As you do.
And
All right.
because of that, I was also recently just like looking into what's a good kind of putty for toy customizing that I could potentially make into custom hands.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I've seen some people actually use Bondic, which is
For
that
hands.
UV light activated resin.
oh, I've seen that before.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
I remember you telling me about that before.
Yeah.
Someone on YouTube made a knife out of it.
Interesting. Oh, that guy with the cow and the water?
Maybe.
With the watering cow.
In the water.
No, I'm not crazy. It's the guy with the watering cow, right?
Hey,
There
I
is-
never called you crazy. You just said that yourself.
There is at least a YouTuber whose thing is making knives out of weird stuff.
And he has a watering cow. Someone please say yes.
That sounds right.
Okay, fine. Let's close it up.
Yeah,
But,
I like how
yeah.
you didn't get an exact yes.
It's fine. It's close enough. He has a watering cow. I'm not crazy.
Once again, no one called you crazy. You're saying it yourself.
You're calling you crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So the second thing that they introduced was a mecha line for a Kamen Rider.
I mean, kind of.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a mechanics line before.
Well, I was going to
And
say
they have-
two different asterisks. One, it's not technically a line because there's only 2 releases.
Right.
Mhm.
With one being premium, so I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
is.
And I imagine the other asterisk is they've technically done these before, maybe just not as a specific wave of its own.
Well, I think they've done stuff like similar, but they haven't classified it under like a Soto banter.
Yeah.
No, haven't done a Soto banner, but they have done EX mechanics before. They did it in Gaim for the watermelon arms and also the bike. They did it in Forze with the bike and the power dizer.
Okay, so you can say
that
that
makes
this
sense.
is more of a Soto first.
Yeah, a Soto first.
A first for the line that's supposed to be kind of consistent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that means that the Candy toys have had more of a consistency than the DX toys because they don't really have a name for those. They just kind of call them DX toys.
Am I about to put a sticker over a joint hole?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll get to it.
Which one you
Soto
stick with?
Chronicle.
Chronicle, yes! We introduced Chronicle this year,
A
and it
very
was so dope.
unexpected surprise.
Yeah.
A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Exactly.
And so many lines announced. That's more than I was expecting during Zio's run.
Yeah.
Z.
And
Like-
speaking of which, we will get to later. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten.
Josh, you were
Yeah.
saying something?
I'm just saying, like, I agree. Like, there was just so many lines this year that I would have never expected.
Mhm.
That I'm so happy that we actually got.
Even just within Chronicle.
Right? Yeah. Like the fact that we already have 3 different series like represented in Chronicle is nuts. I didn't think we'd ever be that far.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
I
so
feel like-
quickly.
I probably didn't even mention it on here because it was a thought I had before the podcast, but it was I was thinking to myself, we'll probably find out what comes after Double towards the end of Zio. We technically know what's
We
coming out
did
after Zio.
twice.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Well, I just expected
Well,
like
yeah.
I wasn't sure how frequent they were gonna plan on doing this. You know.
I
like-
know, but now it's like their entire premium collection, and then retail stuff on top of that.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and also Ichiban Kuji.
yes, exactly. You can't forget that.
Can't forget Ichiban Kuji.
Yeah, it's just fascinating that, like, well, first of all, just the fact that they even decided to launch a line like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it almost goes without saying the fact that, I mean, we'll talk about this with other things that Soda did this year, but the fact that it really seems that they had a higher budget to spend on things this year, to make sure they got everything done and go
Yeah,
way
just-
above and beyond. what they
It
needed
makes
to
me
do.
it makes me
Yeah.
wonder what they had to do to kind of do all this because Zio, big deal of a show.
Mhm.
They had it makes me kind of in a conspiracy theory kind of way look at how sparse Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger was and go, did y'all set some money aside for Zio?
Did Geo actually end up stealing the Lupat money?
Oh, the irony!
Oh, yes. I will say though, like, it seems Chronicle made it feel like Soto was the only toy line that actually cared.
Well,
Right,
I've always felt like that. This was the only
It's-
toy line that actually
It's
cared.
definitely
Yeah.
It's definitely been a steady decline for the main action figure series.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Soto is definitely kind of overtaken, especially as Soto keeps getting more popular.
And
It's definitely kind of
mhm.
overtaken.
I think in the last episode it was brought up how it's interesting how RKF seems to almost be adapting to the Soto style.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, we're making swappable hands now.
Mm-hmm.
and
and
like
I
even
mean-
like things like RKF's now going into double, and Soto Chronicle just did double, and they're still doing double, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, should we expect the next... Like, my bet now is that we're gonna be seeing Deno Chronicle... Or, not Deno Chronicle. Deno in
RKF.
RKF next, yeah.
I would appreciate if it had that sort of Lightning Collection variety,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as opposed to I think we've all said it last time. Zio's RKF has just been built in X8.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Decade, but that's kind of a special case.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Alright,
it's
but yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Decade, the way they introduced this is as if it was Decade's line. It's Ride Plus.
Basically, it was like a mini. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mini
Yeah.
DK Chronicle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a mini Decade SH Figure Arts.
Honestly, it is. Like, that
Yeah.
Decade... I mean, both Decade and Deanne, but really the Decade, because just his character has more accessories you can include than Deanne
Yeah,
does.
it's so
Yeah.
incredibly complete.
Yeah,
that-
it's just...
It's more
fantastic.
complete than complete.
Yeah, it's more complete than a lot of... I mean, granted, that's just because of the timing of when figures were released. So, you know, a lot of Decade figures don't have the pink belt because that's a very new thing that he has.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But, like, no one expected it to come with an entire rocket launcher.
Right. Like, the fact that it even comes with the violent emotion head, I thought was neat. And they're like, oh, well, here's a weapon for the violent emotion form. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Right.
Like, that's...
Yeah, that's even cooler because it seems like that has just become synonymous with that form. Like, the Gomba Rising arcade game, basically, when you scan the violent emotion ride watch, that's what happens.
That's
He just shows up with the
fantastic.
rocket launcher.
That's so good. I'm glad it
makes
does that.
sense. Like, you know, kind of... Because the
Yeah.
violent emotion suit is so kind of difficult to distinguish due to the fact that it's just, like, minor alterations on the helmet that signify the form. So
Mhm.
kind of giving him the big
I
cannon.
think my favorite story, my favorite story from the Candy Toy people is when they said that Mr. D suggested the violent emotion. I think he suggested Decade specifically, and then when he suggested the Gigant, the rocket launcher, they're like, shouldn't, or why'd you include that? And he just said, I also wanted to include Kaisa's bike from that scene. And he said, wouldn't it make sense to make Decade's bike? And he said, I also hope we can get Kamen Rider J into Soto.
that's
Just
so...
to recreate that entire scene.
Basically,
That's so-
he loves Movie War 2010.
Yeah. I mean, that's so weird for him to say now that he's in Shoto, because Jay feels like a Shoto... he does have a Shoto release.
Right.
So, like...
Well, that's where a lot of shows go, or all the shows go.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking just because he's over there, all that ambition for Soto is going into Shoto and, like, re-upping that line.
Man, now that you brought it up, they could probably make a giant Kamen Rider J for Premium Bandai.
Oh, man. I'd buy it. You know I'd buy it.
It would
I
have.
mean,
It could just be upscaled Shoto articulation, and people would still be into it.
Yeah, it's called an SH figure.
Honestly,
No, I mean a 12-inch figure.
Yeah, okay.
that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd buy it. You know I would.
Well, I mean, no doubt about that. I'm not denying that at
Yeah.
all.
But yeah, Ride Plus was a very cool little line. It was originally something that I think all of us refer to as the Future Rider line.
Yeah.
But it's, I guess, the miscellaneous.
Well, it was also another thing where it was like, I mean, obviously, I think Decade's kind of become synonymous with the set at this point. But I think, I mean, the Future Riders obviously outrank Decade in the set in terms of just quantity. And it definitely feels like, because like I remember back before the Future Riders showed up in the show and all we had was the magazine scans, we weren't exactly sure if they would get figures or how they would in the Soda line.
I cannot believe how much we got of them, because at the time when all we had was the toy catalog and the mention that there were these fictitious riders, I was thinking, I bet the most we'll get is a quote on the Ride Watch, or the Mi Ride Watch, and that'll be the only bit of characterization we'll get. And then we got physical suits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And actual arcs with them.
Right. Which was
Well, at
great.
least two of them. Quiz was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. So we got a special set for that. Because I remember, like, back when we knew that it was going to be Shinobi, Quiz, and Kakai in the set, but we didn't know that Decade was in there. Or we didn't know for sure, at least.
Yeah, I only caught it just before they revealed it. Because they had some text that I didn't realize it at the time. It translated to those 3 future writers and a certain someone who made a big impact in Zia.
Right. So
A certain popular character, they specifically said.
Mhm.
And I realized, I guess we're getting Decade.
Yeah. Which I think was like
So the last thing on the list was just another writers.
Yes.
An entire subline of monsters.
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm biased towards it, but it is most certainly my favorite bonus thing that...
Right.
as I say that as I'm looking at the another 5s that's right in front of my face.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, and your experience, like, live pre-ordering it on RRR?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that for that line, I'm glad it exists. I'm glad to have it. I really wish they didn't decide to test out different stickers on a set that
I know you've been having
technically-
problems with them.
Yeah,
They've been
for-
holding up fine on mine.
Like-
so.
Okay, well, it's like specifically for a set that costs more than normal.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Speaking-
it's still a
speaking
thing
of-
where it costs more in theory, but it doesn't really.
it technically doesn't, I guess, but yeah.
It makes you think
Speaking
that it
of,
costs
you're-
more.
Right this moment, you are putting on stickers for Ride 10. Do you notice a difference, like, compared to Ride 9?
I do not at all.
Because ever since you mentioned the stickers were different, I've been thinking, technically the first thing to come out after another one would probably be the last two waves.
True.
So I'm wondering if those have new stickers.
To be,
They don't. I mean,
always-
I know for sure that these guys don't have the new stickers.
I always interpreted it as only another riders have the new stickers as like a trial run kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Trial!
Yeah, trial.
Actually, yeah, it does kind of make sense for them to say, we're trying out new stickers here, fill out the survey, and then by 01, they'll probably have the results of the survey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking too.
I
Or at least
really
by
hope...
that point, I was going to say, by that point, they will have the opportunity to make a decision.
Right.
Yeah, I really hope they go with the old stickers again, because this isn't... It's not a great time.
I mean, I'm looking at the figures right now again just to see what... Another Fives is definitely the one I've had the most problems with, but it's all been minor.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, overall, I think they turned out fantastic. I mean, yeah, the Another Riders is just... I mean, like I said a little bit a couple minutes ago, I do have an immense amount of bias towards the designs because I just love the concept of them. But
Mm-hmm.
it's something that, like, I don't remember specifically when I said it, but I know that I had said at some point that I would have loved just for Soto to do Another Riders, but I never ever thought they actually were going to do that. So when
And that ended up being one of the first things we talked about on the show.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So once it got revealed, that was an instant pre-order for me because it's something I had literally never thought we would ever get, and so
Yeah.
Soto is very good every year, just doing something that makes you go, I considered this a possibility, but I didn't think they'd actually do it.
Right?
yeah, it's pretty neat how they can do that every year, and still you think you've got it all figured
And,
out, but yeah.
And a little bit of trivia, I guess, since we're talking about the Another Riders. Another Zeo was apparently included with Ride 11 partially so that it can get to more people. Because he's a big character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I guess it also just happens to work out. His design isn't as spiky as the other ones.
Mhm.
It's mostly just Zeo aesthetic.
and he's a
Yeah.
pretty important Another
And
Rider
also,
popped up
they
again.
specifically pointed out... Mhm. They also specifically pointed out the details on the face would be hard to do with paint anyway.
Right.
that is true. I didn't think about that, but he definitely has one.
They think about this more than we do.
Yeah. This is their job.
No, yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. So, shall we move on to the big one?
Was that? I mean, I know there's. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yudo Chronicle, big one.
Big one. Big one.
Well, actually, just
Exactly.
real quick before we move on, I know they didn't really touch on it, but one thing because I saw the Fives Decade armor there as I was scrolling through the post,
Uh-huh.
and the fact that they went and did all the Budapest Soul and packaging exclusive forms was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that, but they made it work somehow. It was, I know,
Mhm.
frustrating for like you who wanted to get all of them, but
Yeah.
I was. When we saw the Fives one, I just thought, well, if Soto gets to that, then that's going to be another painful thing to collect.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Especially now that we know that most of the Decade armor forms have just been buy two armors.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's the opposite of the Rider armor situation.
Like at the end of the day, I am glad all of them exist. I'm glad they
Yeah.
went further.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Than they were.
I mean, they
supposed
definitely
to.
didn't have to do a lot of them, and if they hadn't, I feel like things like Quiz and stuff like that, like the Future Riders, everything would have made it into the main line because it would have freed up all those slots.
Mm-hmm.
But I
You're
mean,
right.
I'm perfectly happy with the way that they pulled it off. I think it was a win-win really for everyone.
And
Yeah.
I guess the Rider armors, they're kind of a special exception because celebrations, but
Right.
they're also this completely new precedent of here's a form that only appears on the toy packaging. We're making a figure of it.
Right. Well, and it's also like Soto kind of like tries or seems to try to like experiment with things the year before or something.
I mean, it's another one of those things where like they're the people that actually care. They're the ones that went, oh, I know that the show is going to be unfair about this, and I know that I basically just the show is going to be unfair about this, and inevitably the gimmick line is, so we're going to fix that.
It's like I always think, whenever I think of the Ride Armors that Gia put out, I think about that Dr. Gamer X8 build form that they put out during the build line.
Yeah.
Like not like, like the best match version that was only on, I mean, it was in the movie for like 2 seconds, but still it never actually did anything. It just was like a CGI mid-transformation.
Yeah, an in-between.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that they put that out, I always thought was crazy. But I think that kind of set like up the idea for them to do these kind of forms that are, designed officially kind of things, but just have never really gotten any kind of like merchandise other than like art on a card.
Right.
So, which is something we've had for years. We always get like some kind of Gomba Rising or any of their Buddha Soul or whatever exclusive forms, and it's always been kind of frustrating because they usually look pretty neat.
Yeah. Like this is the line where those really cool things that you wish existed do exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is just definitely one of the best parts about this line.
Alright, so let's get to the big one. Let's not keep them waiting. Guys, we got the big reveal of Soft Vinyl Hero Kamen Rider.
Oh, yes.
01.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's so great, and it's going to be coming in a set with Grand. It's going to be coming in a set with Goretsu, O's Double Decade, Den-O. This is a heavy hitter set if you've been collecting soft vinyls like I haven't.
Or if you just threw a bunch of random riders into a hat.
Yeah. No, not random riders. If you threw a bunch of random riders into a hat and pulled out only the popular ones.
I know, but still, it's like just a weird lineup, I think. Like,
are you sure? Like, this is exactly the Soto Chronicle lineup.
I mean, but haven't they done like? I mean, these are like the tiny little vinyl figures, right?
Yeah.
Haven't?
Oh, also, by the way, Eternal or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna get to that in a second. But like, haven't they done some of these riders in that line before? They had to have at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. I was also going to make the joke that this really shows how sparse these Candy Toy vinyls are because Gate Revive is here.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
yeah. Been lagging behind.
I have a bit more respect for the Candy Toy vinyls now that I've seen toy customizers using them.
No, yeah, like that was since I am a 3 3/4 inch to 4 inch collector. That's
really?
where my brain went.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I said, "Oh, really? I never knew."
Oh, okay, yeah. You won't be hearing it in the actual video itself, but Josh's Discord has been cutting out.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If there's overlap, that's why, and also because I was too lazy to edit it out. Oops.
Damn it, future Corey.
Yeah. But yeah, just kidding. Real big thing. We got Eternal.
Out of nowhere. That was a surprise.
Out of nowhere. And like, they even said it in the blog. All the stuff that it comes with, they did a huge reveal thing, and they said, this is so early. We were given permission to reveal this early enough to where we don't even have a release date. We don't have a price. We don't even know how we're going to put this out and give it to you.
It's gonna
nice.
be a third premium set, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I know. And like, again, it's another thing of these guys going above and beyond. They didn't need to tell us about this. They've got...
I was gonna say, if you want to turn this into a negative, this is like Five Nights at Freddy's, where they're like, I'm guessing the silence means you don't really follow the series.
I mean, vaguely.
Oh.
Tell us in the comments down below if that also elicited silence from you.
The creator is kind of known for releasing these games well in advance from when he from the release date he initially presents.
Oh,
Because people are just so hyped for it that he just like releases it earlier.
oh, nice.
That's fair.
Well, I
Which
mean, technically we didn't get a release, but we did get nice, pretty images.
Well,
And that's a recurring thing. Yeah, like you
Mhm.
said. Ride Plus 2, that kind of bit him in the butt, but otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, and this is another thing here. Like I'm looking at the Eternal, like the fact that he has all the maximum drive slots full or not full. It's like crazy.
Yeah. And on top of that, you can take them off and probably paint the arms. They can probably paint the arms green, and you'll be getting a red flame.
What, paint him green?
Yeah.
Did I say green? I meant red.
I know what you meant.
Oh yeah, paint them
Green
green,
for-
as well.
Paint
We
him
need to get
green for no reason.
yeah, paint them green. Please paint them
So,
green.
That does beg the question. So I personally, I don't exactly know why they released Eternal so early. My only guess is the fact that he did show up in Geo, so maybe they're trying to connect it in that kind of way.
They did say something about that. It was like, hey, since he showed up in Geo, you can pose it with those guys too.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if it is, sorry to cut you off there, but if it is in a third double set, which I don't see why it wouldn't be.
What'd you say?
If it is in a third premium double set, which I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, here's my thinking behind it. We haven't got a Cyclone Joker Gold Extreme or Extreme Gold
Right.
or Gold
Cyclone Axle.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Cyclone Axle.
thing is, we didn't get the two guys from the big movie. Or the A through Z.
Oh,
so I'm
which
thinking,
which is Eternal and Cyclone Joker Gold. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Those-
So I'm thinking
that's what you mean. I was about to say, what other two characters are you referring to?
yeah, they
Oh,
would
yeah.
it definitely makes sense to pair them together.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
So
think about
that's where my mind's at in terms of their release. It's
Well,
gonna
they
be
c-
like A through Z set.
Oh man, because of how many accessories Eternal has alone, I'm just imagining the best scenario would be Cyclone Joker Extreme Gold with huge wings and a special display stand.
Does did the Cyclone Joker Extreme figure split apart?
No.
Oh no, you mean like the 5-inch?
Or like the Soto one, like for the premium set?
Oh,
No,
that
it
was-
didn't.
Okay.
I was about to say the original action figure that they released transformed into Cyclone Joker.
Right.
Yeah, that
remember
was weird.
That
Oh
was-
wait, do you mean split apart in the standard Soto way or split apart in the double way?
split apart in the double way? Like, could you?
It
can you
did
split
not. No, it didn't do
Okay.
it the double way.
Because I was gonna say you could do a premium set with Eternal, and then you could have both versions of Extreme that we didn't have yet, because like you would have the wings pieces and stuff that would take up extra plastic.
Right.
So I thought if you could swap it to have the axle pieces, then maybe they would do that. But I guess you couldn't.
I mean, you still have that big gap in between of the, you know.
Right. I yeah, like
silver.
the color. Yeah, the colored part.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if like it split on the opposite ends of the colored part or not. If that wasn't a thing you could do, I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry guys, you're not going to be able to make Cyclone Axle Gold Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Boo-hoo.
So
But they will in Ichiban Kuji.
you're right.
That was the thing I was trying to figure out earlier when I was looking through this. Like, is this another Ichiban Kuji thing?
I'd be down if Cyclone Axle Extreme was Ichiban Kuji.
I definitely doubt Eternal would be. I think he's too popular and too
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
big of a rider to do
Now,
that.
What if they did something completely unexpected and decided to make this a retail set as well? I don't think they would, just because if my theory holds that they're releasing it with Gold Extreme, then
I think that makes the most sense.
yeah.
That's probably going to depend on extreme unintended sales for the premium Bandai sets.
Yeah, that's
I'm just trying to figure out like we're getting because
That would-
well then again, go ahead, Moons.
What?
I was just gonna say we're getting Double doesn't already have a lot of forms to begin with, and riders and things like that. So we're already getting pretty close to having like a full representation of everything double.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if they will go all the way or if we're gonna miss a thing or two.
I mean, I think eventually we'll get there. But then on the other hand, they said in response to your comments in the survey, we are now bringing these characters out.
Right, that's right.
So maybe they weren't planning these yet, or maybe it just dictated how quickly they were going to release them.
Well, I wonder if that had anything to do with the the second premium set with Axel and Skull.
Oh, yeah.
That got announced so long after the first one.
Yeah, they basically, when I was going back through the backlog of posts, they mentioned something like, by the way, we heard your survey entries about this character, and it was red and blue text. And then shortly after, Axel and Axel Trial were revealed.
Makes sense, yeah.
So it's like, oh. Yeah. And they even explained that that's what they meant before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess keep submitting those surveys, Japanese people.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we can. I just tried to sign in. But if you don't sign in and go in as a guest, I think you'd be able to just answer it. I haven't done that, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, real quick, before we get into the rest of this, I saw that Bluefin earlier today. They asked, "Hey, now that we're releasing premium Bandai stuff, what sort of kits do you want to see re-released from the 10-year backlog that we haven't done yet?" And they were talking specifically about Gundams. But it shows that they're willing to actually, if they do import Rider stuff, they'd be willing to go back.
Oh, that's a good point, because I saw that and I was joking. I was thinking to myself, a joke tweet would be, Soto is technically a model kit line. There's stickers. There's gum.
I was thinking about tweeting that too.
I don't know why I said there's gum. That has nothing to do with model kits. Take out the gum. Really excited about it's probably expired.
Yeah. But not only would they be, they'd be open to doing premium stuff. They're open to doing past premium stuff. So
yeah. I guess if Bandai has the stock or the molds for it, maybe.
Right.
Speaking of, that was actually something they revealed previously in this post. I don't think they ever brought this up before. The Ride Player mold actually doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Because they were talking about how Quiz is based on the Ride Player body, and they said, you probably thought it's based from this mold, but technically the physical mold doesn't work anymore.
I'd assume that they'd still use the CAD model.
Yeah, that's probably what they did do. They're basically just saying the physical mold that we use for Quiz is technically a new mold.
Huh. Cool.
Just a little bit of... that actually isn't news to me because I've heard stories about that. How, for Transformers, some of the things from the 80s they can't actually reissue because the molds don't exist anymore.
Right.
And they would have to basically reverse engineer one.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Yeah, I think they did that specifically for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of model kits, here's something you can build, but that doesn't make sense now. It's too late. Kashin.
Yes, army build.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess also, speaking of Ride Plus, Kashin.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's favorite.
The gift that I guess keeps on giving.
I was going to say everyone's big favorite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Buy lots.
Big Lots. Not sponsored. I don't know. So they said they're re-releasing him through 01?
Yeah. Weirdly enough, because one thing that the blog likes to do once in a while is show these little quotes, which I assume maybe based on actual feedback from fans, maybe their assumption of what fans are saying. And one of them is, "I want to buy more Kashin."
I mean, I agree. I want to build the army buildable thing.
It's taking up a slot, though. No, I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah, because, you know, Soto does everything, and it's fine. They'll get to it eventually.
That's kind of
Just like Aqua.
there it is. Had to mention it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Soto Chronicles. Just wait for it.
I'm waiting. They'll release Poseidon and never release Aqua. Just watch.
Just like the belt.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I think the thing I'm most interested in what they said about the logistics of the line, in that since Ride Plus 2 featured Kashin, those were like higher price per piece. For retail. So they're gonna have to cut back on paint and stuff when they re-release it in regular retail for 01.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have to like run to the store that often. So
Yeah, but that adds, I think, an 8th potential thing. No, not even 8. 9 potential things that they need to put into 01.
Well, okay, let's see. The movie writers plus the movie form plus Tsukiyomi. I mean, at this point, spoilers. Everyone knows about it.
We already know.
Everyone knows.
And then Gates,
Majesty.
right, that's right.
Yeah, Kashin now, and then
Hypothetical things at
Greasy
this
Man
point. Oh, yeah.
And metal build.
and Metal Build. Yeah. So at the most, it's like 8 or 9, right? Did anyone count?
I did not, to be honest.
Okay.
That's hypothetically
It's like-
9 items.
It's just a funny...
It's 9 items, but at my most pessimistic, we're only going to be getting the Metal Build face. So that's about 8.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we'll probably only get that.
But at my most optimistic, that's 9.
To be honest,
I really don't know if I see them really releasing the Hazard Body.
Shut up, I want it.
Okay.
I was actually going to
I
say.
know you want
I was actually going to say worse. Technically,
No.
we have no precedent for them to even release those build stuff because they have not released.
That's true.
Yeah, because it's been so long.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
Because
not
like
wrong.
technically, we're just assuming that it's going to happen.
No,
But,
you're right. You're completely right.
Come on. Oh, you know what? Yeah, what if they don't even release it in... Wait, what if they do a premium thing for those guys
I
instead?
see. I just. Well, I mean, Perfect Kingdom is enough of a like different suit than his other two forms, so I can see it going like as a premium. I mean, the metal build stuff, they could do that super easily. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
Like
if they do Metal Build and what? His name?
Perfect Kingdom.
Grease Perfect Kingdom, yeah. If they do those two as a premium set, I guess I wouldn't mind.
You know what? If they did a premium set, they could make a Dai Soto.
Don't. Definitely don't. Then it won't work with all the rest of mine. Don't do that!
Which is Corey's least favorite thing.
Yeah.
But then you'll have a Dai Soto's Hazard Body that you can troop build.
Anyway, we'll transition to, hey, look, there's a blurry image of a guy who's wearing lime green and black. Who is that?
So,
Who knows?
So I pulled up the
Yeah.
5-inch figure just to compare, just to be sure, because I thought that pose looks kind of familiar, but then when I pulled it up, nope, completely different. For a second, I thought they were actually using the 5-inch figure as a placeholder.
Oh, I
really?
mean, like, why? I'm sure they already have this
Yeah.
ready
It's just,
made. So.
I just, for some reason, I just saw it and thought, isn't that a pose that they put the figure in the promotional images? But nope. Anyway,
Oh, is it not?
nope, it's
It
a different
looks like
pose.
one. Oh,
I was specifically pulling up the 5-inch figure photos.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Okay.
Soto 01.
Yeah.
There's a thing.
First looks did
Proportions look good.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
Has me wondering what the form change is going to be like.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's all blurred out. This could all, you know, all the speculation we can do now will be out the window come next week. So
I just realized. Because if they follow the pattern from last time, you know what's going to happen? First post is going to be showing off 01, then it's going to end with, next week we'll show you how the form changes work. We're not going to show you now.
No, honestly, my thought is that...
Which I'm pretty sure is still my thought, too.
Huh?
About how they would balance that out.
Oh, no, my thought is that we're just going to get all of Wave 1 in one post. Because they did that for Geo. And I'm pretty sure they did that for Build.
Well, I didn't think we would get all Wave 1 in one post.
I
thought you meant like how they balance out the actual set themselves.
I distinctly remember with Zeo, the blog posts were like, first one is Zeo, second one is Gates, third one is Build Form, etc.
Well, it
no. It was Zeo, then Zeo in Build Armor, then Gates, and then with Gates they just right away show you that he can use Build Armor.
Oh, is that how that happened?
Because, like, I remember each post ended with some sort of... It was something that I kind of wish they kept doing, where they said, the keyword for the next one is... And it would just, like, give you some word.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Like,
well, that sounds like a double thing.
Yeah, that actually does. I guess they were trying to go for a woes sort of thing.
I guess.
Like, they were like... the keyword for next week is 2068, and then it was Gates.
That's right. I remember them doing it like that.
But yeah. Next on the topic list.
Yeah. Next up, guys, you sent us questions.
Both of you guys.
Both of you, and half of them were joke questions. And I'm pretty sure the person that put in those joke questions isn't going to be listening to this.
You know what?
But you know what? We'll go through and we'll answer it anyway.
Jokes on him. I'm gonna get some actual answers.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Let's see. I'm pulling up the questions right now.
Oh, I've got them.
Please hold. Oh, okay. Well, you can read off the joke ones first, then.
Why do they make you put stickers on? Do it for me. I'm not your maid. So that's how you know this is from Dawson.
That one's from Dawson, yes.
That's a perfect Dawson tweet right there.
Yeah.
Just need a Drake and Josh reference in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would seal it.
So you have an answer to this? What could you even say to this?
To make the figures better.
I can't explain, like, I can't say an office gif. I had to reply with an office gif, so it'd be hard to, like...
That's fair. Why don't you do that? Reply with an office gif, and then we'll just say we did it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
do it now.
My kind of genuine answer is, that saves them money that they can put into other things to make the figures better.
That's true, yeah. I will say, like, it is a very good cost-saving measure. And considering, like, so these guys go for around $8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Fortnite figures that I'd say are slightly higher in quality are only that because their figures average around, like, $12 and go as high as, like, $20. So I feel like this is a happy medium.
Yeah.
Keeping the cost low. And like improving on the sticker.
And you were just showing me earlier, I didn't even know about this, but Glyos is making My Hero Academia figures. They're like $13.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, not to go on a big tangent.
Yeah, I had no idea that those were a thing.
Right? So I'm gonna tangent a little bit. Have you guys seen those Fallout figures that have the peg system?
I forgot about them until you linked that. Then I was like, oh yeah, they did that.
Yeah, so they had Glyos pegs, and I was like, oh yeah, that's neat. I'm glad mainline people are, like, catching on to this. And then I did some research. Turns out, the company that they're under is actually the Glyos people.
Huh.
Oh, really?
And then under that, they said, yeah, this line is going to include My Hero Academia stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's great. I wanted a budget line retail with Glyos. Actually, I didn't think about Glyos, but I'm glad it's there. And then also in the scale that I like. And then today I got follow-up on that, and I saw it in stores, and it blew my mind. I didn't buy any yet, because that's, again, like Maluna said, it was $13, and
I had a reason for bringing up the price, which was that the articulation doesn't look quite as good.
Well, on top of that, like, for Glyos in general, it's vinyl, and I think there's a different process involved in that.
That sounds right.
Where, yeah, the process is a lot more expensive than ABS and PVC and stuff.
And what I thought you were about to bring up is licensing costs, and that also makes sense.
Oh, licensing, yeah, that too.
But, I also had a joke answer for this question about stickers. Look at how people are reacting to this very slightest paint error on Power Rangers toys right now. So the blood is on your hands if there's something wrong with the stickers.
Yeah,
There you
but
go,
I
shifting
mean,
all the blame to Corey.
yeah.
That's how we do it.
No pressure.
Yeah.
You're stickering one right now.
I know. I've wholesale given up on stickering, and I'm just playing around with them. Because
they
Waz Ginga, I've done anyway, we'll get to it. Yeah, his second question, why does Figuarts?
I don't know.
Amazing Mighty.
Yeah.
Did I mix
You know
them
what?
up?
It's a shame that we already talked a bit about Figuarts last time, because I already made my observation of I find it interesting that Figuarts is starting to kind of go back into doing form change gimmicks.
Yeah, but it'd also be nice, because, not nice, but, it's really weird that in an age where
it doesn't feel right.
there are
somehow.
$20 collector grade figures, that Figuarts is still a thing in that scale. I feel like they need to push...
But can we talk about how the real problem is how the Figuarts boxes have, that long message, it's a new figure line. Even it's been...
Does it really?
Oh,
Really?
they never changed
Some
the
of them, I
text?
think, still have that.
Oh.
Even though it's
Well,
been,
I think
over a decade.
I think Figuarts would do well if they pushed into what is 1/12 collective into that sort of
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking
space. Yeah,
The,
yeah. Not necessarily have cloth things, but scale down the BM heroes or whatever, and then just try to make,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
I was about to say that is 1/6 scale, but you were saying 1/12 scale, which is what Figuarts is, technically.
No, I'm saying 1/12 collective, but take their BM and scale it down into a 1/12 collective sort of style.
Oh, yeah, okay, something of that quality.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because, as it stands, I don't know. Yeah, never mind. I'm not any decision-making person. I don't know how the market works. I just don't think that people are willing, at retail, I don't know. Yeah, at retail, I don't know that people would be willing to pay that much per figure.
Yeah.
Unless it's something 1/12 collective-esque. Because they put, a lot of quality into it and pour in accessories, but Figuarts doesn't do that anymore. Yeah. Their accessories come with a bike.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is still
anyway,
really
3. Why are you the way that you are?
What is that image
Is that
supposed to be?
Dawson?
Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. It's the question that we got.
So, is it...
You read that very painfully.
So,
yeah.
There's an image in there, it looks like an avatar. Is that supposed to be anything?
I have no idea what the ball in that is supposed to be.
I was looking at that.
Why is it over the dude's head?
I was asking, did he make this GIF or did he just pull this from somewhere else?
I mean, he pulled it from somewhere else, obviously, like the
Yeah, he
the
pulled
GIF
it
search.
from Twitter.
Yeah. But yeah, why? Because we want to be.
I can
Shut
tell
up.
you part of why I am the way I am with Soto, which is why I'm into the customizing. Back in the early 2000s, when fan sites were still going strong, there was this one Dragon Ball site called Dragon Ball Toy Island. It was basically a database for all kinds of merchandise, and they had a custom toy section where people would submit their custom repaints and remolds. They look really bad today, but still, you can see a passion there.
But yeah,
And
the idea of that.
yeah, I always appreciate it because, at the time, Dragon Ball was one of these series where if you wanted a Goku, you were set to go. If you wanted Ten Shinhan, you kind of had to make your own. So that was the thing that I found really appealing at the time. And I actually did have, I don't think they were good paints, but I did have acrylic paint at the time. So I was actually making my own custom figures. I don't have any photos of them at this point. But that's why I find it appealing now to just make toys a little bit more show accurate.
And that is why he is the way he is.
That's where my sickness came from.
Good way to tie it all back in there, Corey.
Yep. I'm glad you actually managed to use that because I was definitely about to brush it off.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't think I've ever told anyone this story. So there you go. Something new.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Alright, next up, Peacemaker2448. My dude, you're always commenting. Always appreciate it. We should probably respond more. And to that point, after we read off your questions, I'm going to read off your comment on the last episode so we can discuss that as well. So, number 1, the obligatory thoughts on Geo now that it's over. Oh, wait, well, we sort of did that. Geo Soto?
Find that on our streets.
Yeah, because we haven't watched it.
Well,
right. Once it's subbed, we'll talk about it this week.
I am assuming we're talking about the show, and from my point of view, I don't think there's anything the final...
The Jedi Revolt.
What?
He beat me by 1 second.
What?
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 Yeah, I'm here. Oh, it's just like the one RR episode I was on. Anyway,
Anyway,
I was
you're
saying we haven't seen the last episode. I don't think any of us have, but I don't think in my case, speaking for myself, there's nothing that the final episode could do that would change my opinion on the show as a whole. Which is that it sure is as much of a mixed bag as Decade was, but possibly a little bit more fun along the way.
That's true because you actually had the writers in the show.
It was like those jelly beans. We don't know if you're going to get a good flavor or a bad flavor. It's all mixed.
Oh, this one's a Kiva flavor.
You have to.
Oh, it's in a way.
Oh, weird! It tastes like manhole covers.
Oh my god!
But it smells like a very pretty lady.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Geo was fun. And each week I made an attempt to enjoy it, and most times I was successful.
Yeah, I had a blast with it.
I had a lot more fun once it got past the 2018 episodes. And it's... I've talked about this before. It's interesting how when you look at the writer credits for each episode, that's kind of where the main writer stopped writing the show for a while. That says something.
Yeah, that certainly does.
And a lot of the show, at this point, you would call him the secondary writer, not to be confused with writer, Nobuhiro Mori. He apparently he was the head of Q Ranger, and also a decent chunk of anything that wasn't written by the head writer of Gaim.
Urabushi or whatever his name is.
Urabushi.
The Butcher. Anyway, basically, it was written by someone whose writing I've generally enjoyed. And I really wish that we could get some straight answers about what happened behind the scenes with Zio, because I feel like conversations happened.
Oh yeah, there's a story.
Yeah,
there
there's I
Yeah. More of a story than Geo,
decade.
one might say.
Damn, you went there.
That's the reference. Anyway, because much like with Ghost, it felt like that there was someone saying, "This isn't as fun as it should be. Let's change this.
Yeah.
Stop giving them amnesia. People wanted to see them fight." Yeah.
Hey, turns out when we do the thing in the show that the people were expecting and wanting, they actually start to like it.
That's
no way.
That was the way that I was describing
Yeah.
it. Is it's kind of taking out the best part of a crossover.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they build it as a big crossover show with actual writers returning, and then they didn't return right.
Yeah, like leading up to the debut,
return
there were just so many conversations I was having with, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they had this team up happen? What's it going to be like when they do a double episode? Just,
Right. If only
turns
we
out the only person they could get back from double is the, what was he? Yeah, like a ramen guy?
Eternal?
Well, and
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Eternal.
That's fair. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember what random
Yeah.
character they got for the movie. It was like a ramen guy?
Yeah, he was a character.
Yeah, some
from, like,
ramen dude.
from the Hyper Battle DVD. If I'm not mistaken.
No, are you kidding
The
me? That's it?
Oyakudan guy.
Yeah, before Eternal showed up, that was the only double
Right,
representation we had.
All right. So those are some of our few thoughts. I do want to give a more extensive one. I will be giving it on both Go Mango and on this week's episode of
And-
Streets.
Oh, yeah,
so
I'm
make
sure
to
we'll have
check
a
those
decent
out.
amount.
And sometime within the next few days, I will also be posting a review for the show overall on the Tokusatsu Network.
Cool.
All right. The show while wearing overalls. So next up is question number 2.
Wow, that was the overalls.
Yeah.
That was not.
Mhm.
No, I'm not congratulating.
Yeah, I know. Rarely does that happen. If there is one obscure writer from stage show, novel, etc., would you want to see it in Soto? What? Oh, wait. You would want to see in Soto? What would it be?
Any of the novel writers, so that way we can actually see what they look like.
I mean,
we
we got one Cyclone.
Nadeshiko.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
Did. We did.
I mean, I know this isn't stage show or novel, but she hasn't been made at all. Nadeshiko, however you pronounce her name.
Nadeshiko.
I just want one so I can put it with the rest of my Forza figures.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I
I've always liked the idea of the novel forms due to the fact that it's a novel, so you can't see how they look, even like in a drawing.
that's something I'm always
You
really
just have to
curious
kinda
about
guess.
because there's no way for me to actually see the novel. So I want to know how they write fight scenes, and I want to know how people get these descriptions for the forums. Like, how do they get described in the novel?
Yeah, so
Because
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I want
There's-
to see how that pans
yeah,
out.
there's one for the Drive novel. I think it's supposed to be Mach in the Dead Heat Drive style form. And it's like, how did they describe that in the novel? It looks like Dead Heat Drive, but Mach.
Yeah, right.
No,
that's-
I'm saying,
cool.
I
was
was
wondering
joking,
if
like,
it's-
I want to know how they describe forms like that.
Right.
Yeah, I always wondered if it was like a paragraph or something that's kind of like, imagine these suits painted this color with this shoulder pad and this.
Imagine-
Yeah. Or is it like they describe the original suit itself and you're just supposed to assume it's
Yeah.
dead heat, but then also mock colors?
Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine if...
But what I
that was
really
fascinating
want-
to me.
What I really want, and it goes back to my obsession with like feature writers and stuff, I want that novel exclusive Kuga, where I guess like some sort of one-off. I haven't seen Kuga, haven't read anything about Kuga. I just know that there's a potential future writer in there, in that someone takes up the Kuga powers and is the white Kuga and is a
I mean, that form.
I was
of
about to
girl
say, that's
in the
just his
show,
base
it's
form.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was a girl that took up the mantle.
But
Yeah, I know,
isn't
yeah.
it just visually just the base form? Or was there some sort of...
Yeah, it is.
Well, with a female body
I guess so.
type in the
They
Soto
they could
thing.
they could change that aspect of it.
All I could really think
Or
of
mold that
was
for the figure.
The unfortunate thing is that there's not many really notable stage show writers. So I was trying to think, Maja from Gaim would be kind of cool, I guess. That would open the door for a 15 figure.
Ooh.
And I guess...
That'd be perfect.
I want Gaim.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
want Gaim.
in general.
But
Are you kidding? Yes. 5 waves. Everything.
yeah. Yeah.
Malunus wants Gaim no way.
5 waves, give me billions. I just want to keep going.
See, the thing with Gaim is I don't even know if you could get it all done in 5 waves. There's so many things.
I know, yeah. And my dream wave comics? No. My dream wave would be Kabuto though.
Kabuto could work, especially with the mask forms being like.
That's
armor that pops
exactly why I think that
There
would
you go.
work well.
I think that would work.
I was also going to say one of the only other movie writers I could think, or stage show writers I could think of is one that you could probably make yourself, which is Nico as Snipe, which was just I guess it was just Snipe with a female body. That's about it.
So you put it over the poppy stuff?
It's just Snipe, but with a female body in the scarf.
Right, yeah, but
the scarf
the
is painted
only-
different too.
But the only female
Oh,
body is Poppy. So you'd need to put Snipe stuff over Poppy's
It would-
stuff, and you
I
might
mean,
need
yeah,
to
it
shave
would need to
down
be
some
a new-
Poppy.
Figure body, but
I mean, if you want to do
Yeah.
a full-on custom interpretation of it, then that would work. But yeah,
Yeah.
you could do that.
the only other one I could think of, I couldn't even remember the name of it. It was one from a Forza stage show. It was supposed to be like something similar to Nadeshiko. It was...
Oh.
I forget what the name they gave it, because it was one of these things where no one knew the name of this writer for so many years, and then suddenly the Kamen Rider Wiki updated with one.
Like, wait, the one that is run by the American fan base?
Yeah.
Updated
So-
with a name? Where did they get it?
It's
Because they're not the source for information.
Hey, look, the admins try, the users just don't know any better.
Honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
that does seem about right.
But yeah, that there are only so many good stage show rider suits.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
no offense to them, a lot of them are kind of thrown together pretty quick for.
Yeah.
I mean,
the stage
I-
shows.
I'd say that Sentai might have better ones.
Ooh, I don't even know anything about stage show exclusives for Sentai.
I know that there
I know
was
of-
like an evil Orion version, or an evil version of Orion that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
There
all
was a-
black, but it had the space pattern on it, and it was
Hmm.
beautiful.
There was a Chaos from Kyoryuger. He had like a Kyoryuger form.
Oh, that looked horrible.
I mean, I
want
don't,
that.
I don't disagree. It
Throw
did
that
look
away.
good.
Throw that all the
Throw
way
that
away.
I know
The-
that
The important distinction with the ones that I'm citing are that they're from the final stage shows, which are technically a little bit more official.
right,
But
like
those are final, I think.
and you have the things like when the ninja girls use the Josetsu armor in the
Oh,
stage
yeah.
show.
Oh, you know what? You know what I want? That really obscure stage show one where Jar Jar appeared for Q Ranger. And also,
What?
I would like... hold on. I would also like the
This isn't a
Mario
bit?
and Luigi Bugsters.
There we go. I know that one. I was
yeah.
just saying, is this a bit?
Yeah, I
No,
I
not
know
a bit. Jar Jar was in a Q Ranger one. Like a
Makes
knockoff
sense.
looking Jar Jar.
I could believe it.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
want
just
those.
enough away from being in a lawsuit?
Yeah. That's what I want. Honestly though, my pie in the sky dream is DC Soto figures.
Oh no, of course.
Like that would never happen, but they have worked with DC on figure arts. In the
You're right.
past,
'Cause
so.
that would never happen because you would also never have the money for all of them.
Well, SH Figure Arts has made Marvel figures, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean they
Oh,
have set
I-
a precedent for doing that Marvel Disc Wars toy line that was really nice and
I
4-inch
forgot about
scale.
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now that I said that, I just realized I think there might be Figure Arts DC stuff.
Yeah, there
So-
are.
yeah.
I know there are.
Yeah,
for,
the
like,
precedent. The precedent has been set for
Japan
them
doesn't care.
collaborating.
Well, the
Yeah.
Japan doesn't
DC
care
ones,
what
like-
property it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
last question.
Yeah, last question, and then we'll move into your comment. But number 3, with Soto Chronicle hitting the backlog for Rider, what show for Yudo Chronicle do you want to see? And I don't know. Let's go in order of whoever wants to go first.
That's a good order. Yudo Chronicle is kind of difficult due to the fact that it has the benefit that Kamen Rider doesn't have, or it has an American adaptation to give you really good figures.
Well, we're dreaming here.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever you want.
Well, if I had to pick like a all-time, honestly, actually, it would be for them to finish the Yudo Q Rangers that they never finished.
Okay,
I would agree.
That was brought up on the last episode. That did happen then?
What?
Because Evangelist on the last episode was saying...
I didn't see it. I checked every blog post with Yudo in it, and I didn't see... Well,
no, they
to my knowledge.
They definitely never finished the Q Rangers.
Well, no.
Okay,
Evangelist said that he had seen CAD models, and I couldn't find what he was talking
really?
about. Yeah.
Like, supposedly there was going to be a potential Q Ranger premium Bandai set.
Oh, with the rest of them? Interesting.
But I didn't find any information on that. I don't think that existed.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Wow.
But yeah, that would have been my choice, because I always just hated how incomplete that was.
Same, but I am glad, like, it did seem more like a test run situation.
It definitely was, but still...
You're launching it with, like, 2 episodes left. You're not finishing
That's true, it was really late into the game.
Late in the game. Melissa, what do you want?
I was going to say that's technically something I would want, but since that was already a topic we discussed before, I don't know, just give me Zyuohger. Zoom in heads. Come on.
I would love some Zyuohger. That would be great.
That'd be cool.
Lightning Collection, step up.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly.
For me, though, and I know that Kevin's listening, so... I do want Kyoryuger, just because there's a lot of them, and I want, like for me, a big draw for Kyoryuger was that there was a lot of Rangers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like they have the potential to...
You think now is a good time for it?
Huh?
You think now would be a good time or a bad time for it?
I think now would be... Oh,
just because of how similar they are.
I mean, they're doing a lot of Kyoryuger anniversary stuff. Not a lot, but like, there's been at least one thing a year for Kyoryuger up until a point.
That's how
and now they're doing.
I would really call that an anniversary thing. It's more of a they never left.
Yeah.
So they're like the Den-O of Sentai right now,
basically.
For now, yeah. But I would like Yudo figures of that.
That would be
specifically
really cool.
Because I think one of the first few Candy Toy figures that crossed my eyeballs were the
the Carry Red figure that they did, or not? Well, that wasn't Yudo, but like the Candy Toy.
Yeah, the Candy Toy one that you basically build. Same with the gold that they made. Yeah,
I'd be interested to see them make that, just to see how it kind of see what South Korea does with that. Like, would they just re-release that as the Brave set? Would they make their own custom Brave figures?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd love that. And like
South Korea Soto or Yudo.
That would be very interesting and a lot of money for Corey to spend. So
shut up. Like, I think those would be pretty easy to do. Except for the fact that... Oh, you know what you could do as well? You could make just regular versions of Cyan, and...
Yeah, for the 100 Years After movie.
Gray, yeah, Cyan, Gray. Just... there are a lot of possibilities. With,
there's definitely potential to really make use of those molds.
Yeah, and I do feel like Kyoryuger is like the easy answer. Because it's a fan favorite, and like it's not. I don't think it's groundbreaking to say I like Kyoryuger, but I do kind of not like that the only figures I do have are 5-inch and don't fit with everything I own.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my answer.
That's it.
Yeah, that's these are good answers.
Yeah, thank you. So same with you. We went overtime, not the subs. And this is gonna be a pain to edit. I know last week was a 2-hour episode, but I do want to cap it off. We can talk about 10 next week, if that's fine with you, Malunas, unless you were really itching to say something about it.
To be perfectly honest, I saw that we had 2 questions. I thought, should we bulk this out with a review?
Hey, so turns out I forgot to read Peacemaker's comment before we ended, and I don't know why it fell out of my brain, but here we go. I'm gonna read it, and since I'm the only one here, I guess I'll be the only one to respond. Peacemaker 2448 says, if the cat exists, it might be in this post in the text, but I'm not sure. And then he linked to the post that potentially had the Kyuranger CAD files, but I didn't find it in there either. And then he says, I will be honest, I am in the same boat as Vangelis in that I do collect Figuarts and am frustrated at how incomplete it is right now. Off the top of my head, Hibiki Armed and Hibiki Kurenai, Mugen, Muteki, Genius. Off the top of my head, that we are missing, with Muteki being the worst, as they showed a teaser with Build Sparkling. Honestly, if Soto covered the same areas as the Figuarts, I would be more on board with Soto outside of the stuff I want that Figuarts will never touch, like Ripe Player Nico and Aqua. A thought I recently had is, with how much Soto is pushing what they will do with another writers and Decade Fives, I wonder if they can push it further into other areas like SIC exclusive forms, novel forms, and potentially original stuff. I would love to see how much Soto can flex their muscles. I do agree that Soto is in a very unique place in that they get to innovate, but I'm seeing now that because they pushed the Geo stuff so hard, that a lot of it's being pushed into 01, and I feel like a lot of the slots that Soto would have been able to innovate and do new stuff in, at least a retail line, that just kind of got subsumed by Geo's backlog and Geo's homework. But I really would like to see exclusive forms. I would like to see the SIC exclusive stuff and see what they decide to acknowledge. But yeah, overall, I don't know how much we're actually going to be getting next year, and I don't know that I would remain hopeful for it. But as we said this episode, as we've been saying, Soto surprises us in many ways, and I think if they decided to do Soto exclusive content, I'd be all there for it. Like, they've managed, at least for me, Malunas, probably like everyone that reads the blogs, they've fostered this sort of mentality that this line is sort of an extension of their fandom, and I really like seeing what they're doing with it, and I really want to see what their vision of Kamen Rider is. So I'd like to see that expressed in a physical way, because I love Soto, I love all of this. So and they do a lot of things that just make sense to do, like finishing out all the rider armors. So definitely into that. Really great suggestion. Thanks again for everything. Also, so yeah, back to the regular show scheduled thing. All right, bye. Yeah, well, next week we'll think of something. We may or may not review it next week. I finished stickering At Least Grand, and that was a time that I had. Wouldn't say it was a grand time, but that would only make sense.
Yes.
So guys, do you have anything else you wanted to say today?
I don't think so. I'm happy to be back on Soda Pop after so many weeks.
Yeah,
good episode.
welcome.
Good episode to have you back on.
Yeah, I agree.
Welcome home.
I'm back.
Actually, not welcome home. Welcome dorm.
Yeah.
College. That's what you're doing. Guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Keep it juicy.
Took us out forever.
Look forward to 01.
大道克美
エターナル
変身
エターナル衝動は